I'll fix it. I'll make it look pretty. Give me a second. But honestly, guys, the underlying energy is the Seven of Pentacles. So yeah, this is a bit of an issue when it comes to the hard work that's been putting in, the constant effort. It's finally probably starting to get to the point where you're starting to see the blossoming of the, blossoming of some sort of the seeds. But at the same time, it's exhausting. Okay, and honestly, there's a lot more work ahead before there is even, before you're able to get to where you want to be. But there's starting to see, you're starting to see the seeds turn into blooms, if that makes sense. Still doesn't make it any less annoying. And it looks like the High Priestess was underneath the Seven of Pentacles here, because as you can see, so that means that maybe there is something not so, maybe there's been a lot of patience and revolved around that, or maybe there's some passive sort of energy that's coming up for you guys regarding the Seven of Pentacles. Maybe there's something that was being reevaluated, or you were waiting on something to return, or something, or there was some sort of passivity, or there was a lot of going with the flow, or you having to utilize your intuition. And now it's pretty much talking about, doing something like looking at the hard work and figuring out whether or not this is something you truly want to continue to push forward. Now, the current state of the situation, the current state of your love life right now is this Knight of Swords. So you're feeling like going fast. You feel like things need to pick up speed here, definitely. Or this is a desire for things to be moving fast, or there is a fast moving energy here, which is totally not bad at all. Now, this could be that there's some combative energy here that you guys could be dealing with someone that's a little bit aggressive with how you guys was talking with you guys, or this could be that there is a lot of aggression period between the conversations between the both of you guys. All in all, there's just like a feeling of, or there's this urge to just go off and just fight for what it is that you want. Just fighting for what it is that this relationship has to offer, or fighting for something. Somebody's fighting for a truth here, and I feel like this desire for, the desired outcome for the relationship, or for the situation here going on in your love life, Libra, has a lot to do with victory through that truth. Feeling very victorious in this truth fighting, right? Fighting for what you believe in and getting some sort of victory out of it. But I think also there may be this desire to have some sort of clarity of what's going on in the connection. Maybe there's not a lot of clarity happening right now. Okay, excuse me. But there's an absolute feeling of wanting to just kind of God, there's something in my throat. Excuse me. Yeah, this with the Ace of Swords coming up in your desired outcome, it does have a lot to do with getting some sort of clarity too, finding some, trying to make sense of what's going on. Try to make sense of what's going on. Try to make sense of what's happening in your life, and kind of going in the direction of communication, a new way of communicating, a new way of thinking, a new mindset. A lot of these things coming out, and I feel like there may be this desire to start something new, start something different in your relationships. Now, the thing that's keeping you from this Ace of Swords kind of destination in your relationship or your love life in general, for those of you that are single, this has a lot to do with the Knight of Cups. It could be that somebody that's around you that's wanting to be more than friends. It could be that this person is, this is some sort of romantic energy. Romantic energy, this desire to be very romantic, or there's a lot of focusing on what one wants, or maybe there's a lack thereof. Maybe someone doesn't know what they want. Someone may not be going after what they want. They're fighting for a certain truth. Yes, it's fighting for truth. Maybe there's something that's not really, is just nothing. Somebody doesn't want something, or somebody isn't going after what they want. Or there's not a lot of romance in the first place. Communication in regards to emotions, just kind of speaking about morals and truth, and rather than opening up emotionally. And the reason why the Knight of Cups is coming up is because of the Four of Cups, which indicates here, that there could be something that that's made this person feel very stuck or very focused on something else, and they haven't even realized that there's a cup even being offered. Very interesting. Very interesting. This person also potentially has lost apathy, because you being stuck in an energy where you're having to constantly look at something, constantly looking at Three Cups, and there's nothing changing. It can be a little bit of a drag You know, it can kind of drag on the enthusiasm, and it can bring about apathy. But I feel like it's because the focus of these three cups and the honestly the unawareness of the ace of cups there that's behind that person is, I feel like it does bring about this apathy. There's not a lot of romance coming up in the relationship, y'all, and it's because it's just a constant trying to get things straightened out, like with all kinds of things, communication, with your beliefs and the way things are, you know, how the role of the relationships are supposed to be played out for each party. I feel that there's just some things that are just not exactly straight, exactly right yet, and I feel like the relationship, the romantic portion of the relationship, is probably taking a huge hit for that. Now, the best path to follow is the Tower for you, Librans. So this is really interesting. It's talking about just going in and make something happen, just changing everything, just changing it radically. Especially if it's not exactly what you wanted. If this is not what you wanted, Libra, then you may actually have to just go ahead and make whatever it is that you want happen. All right. And this is just like the lack of emotional enthusiasm, or lack of some sort of romance or some sort of, you know, emotions towards this relationship, then there may be something that needs to be done, a complete start over, restart potentially, or just, you know, a radical change, just making that change happen. I'm going to go ahead and clarify the Tower, or actually the King, the Knight of Cups. To see what else that kind of means. What does that Knight of Cups mean? Also, this could be that, you know, there's two people here. Either this is, you know, this is not the ideal partner for you, this Knight of Swords, someone that's just kind of fly by night, or someone that's like, not fly by night, because that's more of the Knight of Wands. Someone that's very impulsive and very quick to say something. Someone that's super serious, but no play. But let's see. It could be two people here. It could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and you're not sure who to pick, potentially either too. What is the Knight of Cups? What is the Knight of Cups in the blocked energy? The Nine of Cups. Okay. That's what I was thinking too. It has a lot to do with somebody's wants or desires. It's focusing on what someone wants. I don't think this is the ideal situation for you, Libra, or like the ideal situation that you were imagining or wanting for yourself. The Knight of Cups talks about, you know, the wish card, the content. Feeling happy about knowing what it is that you want, and the Tower is showing up saying, you're gonna have to change some things so that way you can get what you want. The Tower is honestly saying that, hey, you got the power to do it, make it happen. And it can be a little difficult. It could change a lot of lives, it could change your life especially, but as long as this is no longer putting you in a place where you feel trapped, or feel not necessarily trapped, but stuck in your situation of what you can do. Because if you've done everything already, then maybe taking that cup is a better option. Or at least utilizing this Ace of Cups if this is a existing relationship and you don't want to break up or anything like that. This could be that you may have to take a new avenue with this relationship. But all in all, the change needs to come, because the Tower is saying, like, you got to do it, or the Tower's going to do it for you. Now, the Nine of Wands is coming up here in your emotions. Y'all are tired, beat down, and exhausted, and you guys have been doing this for a while. You guys have been fighting and pushing this relationship to the best of its ability. I feel like you guys have been trying to make it work, and you guys are coming up close to the end here. You guys got the Nine of Wands, and I think it's because you guys are starting to see the results that you guys are willing to, you know, to keep pushing, to keep going, to not give up. But I do get this feeling that with the Eight of Swords coming up in your hopes and fears, that there is this feeling, like I was saying, feeling trapped. Like you guys may not feel like there's any more options. You've done everything. You've come so far, and yet it's not exactly where you want it to be. Okay, but the beautiful thing here is with the Eight of Swords is that just because it may look like there's no options, doesn't mean that there isn't. It just means that there's a lot going on mentally that's keeping options from coming up or being very obvious. So it's going to require a lot of elimination of the inner thoughts, so that way that there are more opportunities to come in. That's what that Eight of Swords is all about. It's not that you're actually trapped. It's not that you're actually stuck in this relationship. If you don't want to get in, if you don't want to be in this relationship, you know what to do. But if you do want to stay in this relationship and you just don't see any other options, then it's going to require you to just go ahead and take another, to focus on the self, focus on you, and really release whatever these 3 cups are, right? And just shift your focus onto new love, loving on yourself potentially, okay? But it's going to require an interchange or change altogether with that Tower. And I feel like it has a lot to do with interchange, right? The changing of the self, most importantly. Because the Lovers is coming up. The Lovers is about love, right? That soulmate connection. And it does, to me, indicate like a mirroring effect, okay? Very similar to the 2 of Cups, in my opinion. Even though this probably isn't. You have 2 cards in here that indicate a Gemini as well. So you guys could be dealing with a Gemini for sure. But if this isn't a Gemini, this could be talking about, this could be talking about what you love. Focus, what is it that makes you happy? The connection itself. Okay, but this is a freeing sort of energy. The illusion of feeling like there is distance or there's a choice. When it comes to love, you just love, right? Love is blind. Love isn't. Love is just love, right? It doesn't have a distance. It doesn't have a closeness. It doesn't have any of that. Love is love. But I do feel like there has the love of oneself is what makes this love even more enhanced. And I feel like with the Tower happening, there may just need to be some sort of change in how, and how the dynamic of the relationship works by changing the dynamic of oneself, one's truth, and one's desire, one's heart, hopes, and fears. Well, one's dream rather, making it happen. If you're, oh wow, consider your, wow, whoa, consider your foundation is what's coming out. Jeez. You're being asked to look at how committed you are to love. And that's the 7 of Pentacles right there. That's the 7 of Pentacles right there. If this is a relationship that you want to keep fighting for, nobody is stopping you, Libra. It's all up to you. But it's also talking about looking at your foundation in regards to looking at what your dreams are, looking at what your hopes and dreams are. What does your ideal partner look like? What does your ideal relationship look like? What do you feel that you deserve? Is it worth your time? Because the 7 of Pentacles asks all those questions before he recommits himself to the work that he's going to put in. There is still a ton of work, but there's some things blossoming. There's things changing. It's showing that there's results coming up. There's some things that are, coming out of all this. But at the same time, there is still a crap ton of work to do. Let's see what the wisdom of the Oracle has to say. Poised. You are ready. Poised, y'all. Let me show you the card. It's so nice. Poised. You are ready. You are ready to handle and take on anything. This Tower energy, that's the best path to follow. Yeah, you are ready to make the changes necessary to be happy in your love lives. Be happy in your life, period. Okay? You have everything that you need to take on this new journey, to take on this change. But it's all, it's all up to you whether you want to do this energy or not. The Tower is an energy that's pretty much like that lets you know, like, hey, this is your opportunity to shine. But if you don't want to take it, you don't have to. We'll just make it happen for you. Because if you're not truly in a place of happiness, if you're not truly in a place where you really want to deal with this, then the change will happen regardless. But you may want to. But the thing is, it's Uranus energy, Uranus and Mars. And sometimes when the universe does stuff, we don't like it. We don't like it, especially not in the way they do it. So it's really advocating, I feel like, to just go ahead and make the changes that you feel you need in your life, so that way you can start enjoying yourself. So you can stop, so you can not can't stop, but you can start feeling something, for feeling love, feeling that romance, feeling whatever you've been wanting for so long, that you've been working so hard for. Love is there. Love is, of course, is strong, but it's not everything, right?